In this video, I'm going to talk about why your breathing habits might cause your low back pain, and I'm going to show you 2 exercises to down-regulate the tension in your low back muscles. Okay, so when it comes to breathing, what I often observe is that people tend to breathe more shallowly. And usually if you breathe more shallowly, you are someone that is more in a extended position. So you have more of an arch in your back. And what that does is it is kind of squishing all the small muscles on the back side of your rib cage together and causing a lot of tension in that area. And this area is a very important area because a lot of super important nerves run through that area. And if we compress that too much, then that might lead to spasms and to tightness in the low back. So what we want to do is we want to open up the back side of the rib cage. We want to get more into a breathing pattern where we activate the parasympathetic more than a sympathetic. So if you are breathing shallowly, so meaning fast in and out, you usually activate more of the sympathetic nervous system. Whereas if you breathe more slowly, calmly and deeply, then you have the parasympathetic more activated. And your sympathetic nervous system is more for fight and flight, and it is keeping you in this constant survival mode. And your parasympathetic is more for rest and digest, and it's calming you down and it's calming your nervous system down. So the exercises that we want to do are the ones that are more calming, more slowing you down, where we exaggerate a little bit the exhalation compared to the inhalation, and we therefore activate the parasympathetic system more. But before we start with the exercises, let's try to get a little idea of if you are someone that probably breathes more shallowly. And for that, I want you to just hold your breath for as long as you can. So what we're going to do is you breathe in just normally, and then you breathe out normally, and then you pinch your nose and you try to hold your breath for as long as you can until you feel that first little urge of breathing in. So not as long as you actually can, trying to force it, but to the point where you feel okay, now you kind of feel that first urge. You maybe have to swallow, or you just feel oh, I really want to breathe in again. And so set an alarm, look at your time. How long were you able to hold your breath until that first urge came up? All right, so let's do that together. So breathe in through your nose and then breathe out. And then after your normal exhalation, you pinch your nose and you hold your breath. Look at your watch. Try to stay calm. Keep your mouth shut, not like me. And then whenever you feel that first urge, you breathe in and you look at, okay, how many seconds were you able to hold your breath until that first urge? If it was more than 25 seconds, then you probably have pretty good breathing habits in your everyday life. If it's below 20 actually, then chances are very high that you breathe more shallowly. So the following exercises can then definitely help you to improve your breathing patterns and to downregulate, as I said, your nervous system and the tension in your muscles. So for the first one, what you do is you lay on your back, you have your knees bent, and you want to posteriorly tilt your pelvis. So tip your pelvis back so that your glutes are kind of lifting from the floor, and you have your whole back kind of pushed down into the mat. Now from here you want to kind of feel your side abs. So what you want to do is when we will breathe out, you want to activate those side abs more than the front abs. So feel your side abs, and you now want to first, of course, breathe in through your nose. And when you breathe in, you try to expand your rib cage out to the side. So your rib cage is, when you breathe in, is expanding out to the side and very slightly lifting up as well. And synchronously, your belly is also rising. So try to let your rib cage and your belly rise at the same time and in the same amount synchronously. And then when you blow the air out through your pursed lips, you try to activate those side abs. Make sure your front abs are not engaged, and breathe all the air out as slow as possible. So really slow and all the way before you then breathe in through your nose again. Making sure that when you breathe in, you're not pushing the rib cage forward and up, but actually keeping it low and just expanding in all directions and letting it only lift simultaneously with your belly. And then breathe out again. Make sure your pelvis is tipped back. And then in again. Do that for 5 to 7 deep breaths. You can do it for 2 to 3 rounds. And then for the second one, you stand 1 foot away from the wall. You have your knees bent slightly. You again try to tip your pelvis back, so your whole back is kind of pushed against the wall, but your glutes are not in contact with the wall anymore. Your arms are stretched out and reaching down, and you now also want to lose the contact and kind of shift your upper body forward a little bit, losing the contact of your shoulder blades with the wall. So only your low back is in contact with the wall here. And then here what you want to do is through your nose, you breathe in deeply, expanding the back side of your rib cage. So try to really expand your whole back, reaching down, making sure the shoulders stay low, and then breathe out through your mouth, not losing this position. Also making sure you're not crunching too much, but just kind of shift your upper body forward, keeping your back in contact with the wall. And really feel that the back side of your rib cage is expanding here, giving those ribs a good amount of space. And same here, go for 5 to 7 reps. If you feel a little bit dizzy, then that might be pretty normal because you're not used to breathing in that deep. Take a little rest and then keep doing the second and the third round. And try to do those exercises every day, maybe even 2 or 3 times a day. And you will see that that helps down-regulate those spinal extensors here, which hopefully also helps you with your back pain.